Hey, you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Beast! Peekaboo, I see you because I'm YouTube famous now. Available Super Bowl 2023, the album, Dad, Shimmy Shimmy, AF. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Jeffree Star, tell me lies. Boost! What we're not going to do is make Jeffree Star the drama of 2023. Okay? Squid, what we're not going to do. Anyway, how are you guys doing today? Did you miss me? Oh my God, I miss filming videos over here so much. So I haven't filmed videos for the last couple days. And if you didn't know what was going on with me, I had a tooth extracted on Wednesday. I had my number 3, it's a molar. I don't know what that means. If you're in the dental field, you probably know what that means. But anyway, I had it extracted, and listen, Linda, let me just tell you, okay? My periodontist was like, it's not gonna hurt that much. The only thing that's gonna hurt are the shots to numb it. And I was like, okay, I've had a million shots. I can handle that. So got all the shots done, numbed up my face, you know, it's all that. Okay, so anyway, got all that done. The extraction of the tooth, that didn't hurt that bad, all that kind of stuff. He did like a bone graft in there and everything like that. None of that really hurt that bad. I went home, I was even like talking to the girls at the front desk, and we're like, oh, whatever. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be completely fine. And he told me, he said, you're gonna hurt a little bit later tonight. You know, it's gonna be sore up here. He said, but tomorrow you should be fine. You should be back to being able to film videos and all that kind of stuff. He goes, now you're going to look a little bit like a chipmunk. But other than that, you know, you'll be fine. And I thought, okay, you know, no problem, whatever. Let me just tell you. Woo! Liar, liar, straight from the pit of hell. Oh my God, I hurt so bad, okay? And then I woke up the next day and I hurt, right? And so I thought, well, I surely, and don't call me Shirley, can't be making videos. Like, I'm in so much pain. So I kind of just like sat around. Now, I did film my vlog. So if you want to go hear what I had to say, because what would happen was I would take this Tylenol like later in the day, and then it would like hit, and then I would start feeling better. So I could talk for like 20 or 30 minutes, but then it would start getting sore again because I was talking. Now today, my first day back, I'm planning on filming several videos, and I'm hoping that me talking that much is not going to make it like super painful, but we'll see. I'm actually like, I'm trying to extend the amount of time until I take my Tylenol because I've gone like a really long time. And so I'm thinking like maybe I don't like need it today. So that's what I'm thinking. But anyway, and then it was like Friday, and then I was still in pain, and I was like, oh my God, what is going on? And so last night, honest to God, last night, I thought, I'm not going to be able to film videos again tomorrow. And I woke up today and I felt miraculously like 100% better. So I'm back, and I missed you guys. And thank you so much for checking in on me. I tweeted some things out about it, and people were just so nice. And the people in the comments of the vlog and things like that were just so nice to check in on me. So in the interim, there has been a lot that has gone on, okay? I have videos to make about Jaclyn Hill. I have videos to make about Michaela Nogueira. I have 2 or 3 videos to make about Jeffree Star. I have videos to make about so many people, all right? That I might have to make 2 videos today. I have a video, well, this video is about Jeffree Star being caught in a bunch of lies, okay? So we're gonna talk about that in just a second. But I also have a video about Michaela Nogueira and Jeffree Star doing a collaboration at the Super Bowl. Could it be? Okay, so should I double down? That's not the appropriate term for it. That's not the appropriate usage for that right now. Should I do a double feature today and do both of these videos? I think I should. So as soon as I get done filming this one, I will film that one. So I will have both of those videos up today. Okay. And then tomorrow, Jaclyn Hill. Why not? Jaclyn, tomorrow it's your turn. Anyway, so I've been watching this stuff with Jeffree Star and the NFL boyfriend go down. And I know this is kind of like OG drama and stuff like that. But, you know, I do think it kind of speaks to Jeffree's character a little bit. So let's talk about what happened. And I think a lot of people know now that Jeffree Star coming out and saying that he was dating an NFL player was really just marketing for him going on this podcast called Bussin' with the Boys. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, which is with, I can't pronounce any of these. Listen, y'all, know anything about football. I don't care about football. None of that, okay? But I think it's with this Taylor, is his name Lewin, from the Tennessee Titans, who had like an injury, and so he's out for the season, and he's talking about possibly retiring and all this kind of stuff. Okay, so Jeffree, like, has been feeding out that he has been in this relationship, or that he's dating or hooking up with this NFL player, okay? It went so far as to this woman even reached out to him that was the wife of a NFL player and said, please stop doing this because people are thinking that it's my husband. And he even put her name on Twitter and everything and, like, exposed her. So this is not just like a marketing scheme. I mean, this goes far past that. I mean, this goes towards, you know, being, like, he didn't, if this was just about marketing for the podcast and he knew that, and what we're going to do is we're going to talk about when did Jeffree Star know that this was all marketing for the podcast, then there was no reason for him to come out and expose this woman's name and be cruel. There was no reason for him to do that. I mean, that was a really crap move if he knew that it was marketing. If he truly knew that he wasn't really dating an NFL player, okay? And now we know because they've come out and said that they did this podcast together and all this kind of stuff. And Jeffree even showed all these pictures. So, before I get into this, I want to show you this Instagram story that Jeffree put out on, I believe it was on January 19th, okay? And here you go.
So, there's a lot to be revealed this year, so sit tight. A lot of people have been asking me my opinions about a lot of stuff. Morphe filing for bankruptcy, all the beauty community is literally extinct. And there's so much that you guys don't know. And not gossip, not tea, but the reality of everything that was going on behind the scenes. And I'm open to share some of that and give you guys a glimpse of what the hell I was put through, the literal hell. But there's a lot of insights, so stay tuned. I made a really good TikTok about that, and it'll go up this weekend. But hi guys, how are you? I also really appreciate people checking in on me, making sure I'm good. There's been a lot of weirdness lately, Miss Thing, but I'm safe and sound. I will be going to LA very soon. Someone really massive that has a very huge podcast has invited Miss Jeffree Star Lynn on the show, and bitch, it's gonna be fucking nuts. So this year I have a lot more talking to do.
Okay, now this Instagram story is important for a couple reasons, all right? Number one, because it initiates the point where Jeffree Star starts talking about this podcast that he's going to be on. And a lot of people were speculating that it was going to be him being on Shane Dawson's podcast. I think I even speculated that at the time. He talks about this being like this huge podcast that he's going to be on. And while this Bussin' with the Boys is a big podcast, I mean, I don't know that I think it's the hugest podcast in the entire world and things like that. I will tell you what's interesting about the fact that he has come out, and now they have announced that he is going to be on this podcast. In fact, let me read to you this article that was on TMZ. Jeffree Star's surprise NFL boo is Taylor Lewin. We're just doing podcast. Jeffree Star has finally revealed his NFL boo, and it's veteran offensive lineman Taylor Lewin. But despite teasing a romantic relationship, it appears to be strictly business. The cosmetic mogul has been teasing fans and upsetting NFL wives and girlfriends since the season ended, hinting at a romance with a professional football player. But ultimately, it's just been promotion for a podcast. Jeffree and Taylor made the big reveal Friday, 2 days before the Super Bowl, and Jeffree hopped on Taylor's podcast, Bussin' with the Boys, which a Tennessee Titans star hosts with former NFL player Will Compton. In late January, after 28 of the 32 NFL teams had finished the season, Jeffree began making it look like he was seeing an NFL player, first posting a picture holding someone's hand on a private jet and hinting he was off to Wyoming with his NFL boo. The mystery continued a few days later when Jeffree posted another picture concealing the man's identity along with the caption, "His team didn't make it to the Super Bowl, but he's 6'6" and plays perfect in the bedroom." There was tons of speculation the last few weeks over who the man in the photos was, and now we know, but he's definitely a letdown for anyone who thought Jeffree was banging an NFL player. Why is it a letdown? Because it's a complete and utter lie, is why. It was all marketing for this podcast, which in all honesty, it's kind of sad that Jeffree Star has to act like he's banging an NFL player for people to be interested in listening to this podcast about him, right? Now, I will tell you what's interesting to me about this podcast. Now, when you want to talk about that Instagram story that Jeffree Star put out. First of all, the lie that we're going to catch Jeffree Star in is that he was talking in the Instagram story about secrets within the beauty industry and talking about the hell that people had put him through, and that he had already recorded a TikTok that he was going to put up that weekend, okay? Well, girl, that TikTok still ain't out, okay? And it's been 2 to 3 weeks now, and that TikTok still has not been put up on his TikTok. So I don't know if he lost that TikTok, if he deleted it off his phone, if his team deleted it off his phone. I don't know what happened to that TikTok, but it has not been posted yet, okay? So Jeffree Star said he was going to come out and he was going to do this tell-all TikTok, and there has been no tell-all TikTok, okay? So that's lie number 1. Lie number 2 was all this other stuff that he, insinuating that he was dating this NFL player. In fact, he is still insinuating, even though this has come out, and this is the really sad, pathetic part of it to me, he is still insinuating, and he's still kind of playing out that he is dating this NFL player. So when you go in and you look at the receipts from all of this, hold on a second, okay? And you go back in, because I screenshot all of this stuff. So you go in and he says, well, what's interesting is on 1/8/2023, before he even puts up the thing about the podcast or anything, he says, my mom's favorite football team is playing today, and I told her one of them effed me on off season. Now she hates me. Okay, so he starts then feeding out the storyline of him, screwing NFL players. Then he said on 1/23, okay, which is 3 days after this Instagram story comes out, flying to LA right now, time to handle some effing business, all right, which apparently is the podcast that he did with this guy. And then he says, goodbye LA, time to spend time with my NFL boo in Wyoming. And this is when he posted the picture of them. This is old school, Peter. Listen, y'all, who'd even care about Jeffree? Listen, Jeffree Star is not banging any NFL players, okay? I'm at the point where if you're going to say it, you better bring some proof at this point. Bring some proof, okay? So anyway, Jeffree Star, he's holding somebody's hand on here. Then anybody says, has anyone, so then this Bussin' with the Boys, they put out this tweet because Jeffree Star had put this picture up, okay? And the picture was of Jeffree Star taking a picture of the guy that was at Wyoming with him. The boyfriend that was cooking breakfast for him and all that kind of stuff, right? And so Bussin' with the Boys said, has anyone seen Taylor Lewin 77 recently? That is his Twitter name, right? Okay. And so that goes on, and so then Jeffree Star says to them after this, when are you guys going to have me on an episode, right? And then Taylor Lewin said, am I in Wyoming right now? And this is on 131 after all of this stuff, and Jeffree Star said, do you need an invite? So this whole thing is so contrived and ridiculous at this point. Oh, but wait, it gets even better, okay? So now we know that Jeffree Star, well, I'll save the better for just a second. So now we know, okay, that Jeffree Star feeding out the fact that he dated this NFL player, okay, is all just because he was going on this football players podcast. So do you date NFL players? Do they hit you up in your DMs or do they not? Or is that all a lie? Because this was all a lie. This was all just contrived drama that goes all the way back to the middle of January. I mean, you obviously were booked for this podcast. You knew you were booked for this podcast. You and Taylor were going back and forth with all of this stuff on Twitter when you knew that you had already filmed the podcast. So it's so contrived. And so anyway, so that's all the stuff that's going on, okay, with him saying that he's dating all these football players. I have never believed, to this day, okay, when Jeffree Star comes out and says, oh, rappers hit me up, all this kind of stuff, these people hit me up, whatever. The only sign of that we have ever seen is that one guy, I can't even remember what his name was, that played, basketball for some, third-ring team. I don't even know. Like, do you guys remember that from, like, years ago? And then Jeffree accused him of, like, stealing stuff from his house and stuff like that. Do you guys remember that? Like, that's the only person that's ever come out that is, like, said, like, oh, yeah, like, I hooked up with Jeffree Star or whatever. But Jeffree continues to claim that he dates all of these, like, football players and rappers and all this kind of stuff. I don't know why he needs that to feed his ego, you know? I don't. And what was really sad was, he put this tweet out today. Hold on a second. Somebody said, he put out this tweet about football players cuddle better than rappers or something. Hold on a second. Let me get to it. He said, good morning, biatch. Football players definitely cuddle better than rappers. And somebody tweeted in there and said to him, how about skateboarders, referring to Nathan? And you know what's kind of sad about all of it is that if that relationship was real, which I think is skeptical as well, you know, when Jeffree seemed to be in love and Jeffree seemed to be, you know, doing all this, he seemed to be a little bit more sincere about it. It's like always when he's coming out and he's being like, well, yes, and like all the rappers and all these people are hitting me up in my DMs and whatever, blah, 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 whatever. And I really have to believe that that's Jeffree Star's inflated ego and belief of himself that all of these people would hit him up in his DMs. Like, you know, Jeffree, if you want to prove me wrong, I will never speak of it in a video, and you send them to me and prove them to me, okay? Because I ain't buying it. This one, I'm not buying it, all right? I don't believe it. So anyway, so then, if that's not enough, Jeffree Star comes out in his Instagram story, and this is what he has to say about hooking up. He's at the Super Bowl now, okay? So this is what he has to talk about hooking up with football players at the Super Bowl. Here you go.
Good morning, everyone. I finally slept in. Last night was crazy. Drake did a private party here. We had so much fun, and then I had a lot of fun. Nothing like an NFL threesome in Arizona. Oh my God. It's definitely time for a Red Bull, some breakfast, and round 2. Fight!
So Jeffree's, he's getting all kinds of three-ways and threesomes and three this and three that at the Super Bowl. And in fact, he tweeted out, this was yesterday, tonight's plans, Drake concert with amazing friends and a threesome to start the weekend off right. Can you imagine, like, seriously? I mean, hey, listen, I'm all sex positive. I really am. Have it, do it, whatever, okay? Have as much sex as you want to and all this kind of stuff. But, like, I feel like those that are talking about it most are the ones that are getting it the least. I mean, that is just, as a 50-year-old man that has kind of experienced the world a little bit, that is what I have found, okay? Just truth be told. So, I've had enough girlfriends of mine that have told me that they're getting it, you know, 7 times a week. And then when they're breaking up with their boyfriends, they're like, we never had sex. I don't know why you didn't want to. And I'm like, well, girl, I thought you were having sex 7 times a week. I just didn't want anybody to think anything wrong about me. You know, so those people that are talking about it the most are the ones that are probably having it the least. I just don't understand Jeffree Star's constant need. And like, hey, like I said, you know, if you're having threesomes, I don't know, from here all the way to Scottsdale, hey, more power to you, okay? Hope you don't get a tumbleweed up your butt. But, you know, like, more power to you. I hope you're having fun with it all. You know what I'm saying? Play safe. But I don't understand the need to constantly be putting that out there into the world. Like, to me, that seems, I would say it about anybody else, so I'm going to say it about Jeffree Star. It seems so incredibly insecure to me that he has this need to hypersexualize himself so that people see him that way, because for some reason, I don't know, he struggles with this idea of people, I don't know, he struggles with himself in some way that people cannot see him and if they don't see him in a sexual way. Like, he has to be validated on a sexual level. And I don't get it, because, you know, if you roll through most of your Twitter and you saw anybody put that out there like, hey, I'm going to the Drake concert tonight, starting it off with a threesome, you know, I mean, most of you would be like, oh, cringe. Like, why are you putting that out there, right? So it's interesting to me. Most beauty influencer makeup moguls, okay? Anybody out there, if you put that out there, say that. You would be cringe about it. So it's just like, to me, it's always kind of like, you know, I don't get it. I really don't, you know? But anyway, Jeffree gonna do what Jeffree's gonna do. He's probably gonna have a foursome or a fivesome tonight to get him ready for the Super Bowl tomorrow. So I hope he brought his Tylenol because he said his thighs were hurting last time. Anyway, let me know what you think about all of that in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.